Good morning, and here we are for another TAPP Talk Live, and this is number 50. And we are live here with Julian and Sophie Rodriguez from New Technology Developments, and we are going to be talking about new technology for dealing with wet and slurry waste in Malta. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Julian and Sophie now. So welcome to the show. We're here for European Sustainable Development Week, all week from 10 a.m. Monday to Friday. And this week we're actually also doing a show on Saturday and Sunday with a couple of other new positive stories from sustainability in Malta. So Julian and Sophie, welcome to the show. What's the problem with plastics in Malta?
Hello, thank you for having us. So, well, the problem in Malta with the plastic is kind of the same problem for all countries living close to the sea. So you have to know that we are eating the equivalent of 5 grams of plastics, which means about credit cards a week that we are integrated eating. Why? Because the plastics is everywhere now. So we are polluted with plastic in the sea, in the beach. Then when the plastic is in the sea, the fish eat the plastic, then we eat the fish. And also it goes in the atmosphere, then it's raining, and it's all again microplastics. So this is a big problem, and that touch even more people living close to the sea or close to a tourist area, which I think Malta is totally in this case.
So how did you arrive at the solution that you're going to tell us about today?
The thing is that the first problem we would like to focus on was the sludge of sewage treatment plant, because today there are no solution to treat it at all. Then we will focus on this because sludge is wet waste, and today no one can treat wet waste except our new technology that we patent. And then we focus on this, and we managed to destroy the sludge of sewage treatment plant. It means that we can destroy any waste, like the plastic, the house waste, everything. And that's why we developed this technology.
So is this human waste or animal waste or both or anything or what?
Exactly, that's a good question. That's exactly that. Human waste and animal waste too. Like, for example, farmers have waste of animal, we can treat it and destroy it. And when we destroy this waste, we transform this in green gas. What is another important thing? Because the technology that exists now, they need gas or something to make the machine work. And then they use the gas. And as you know now, with what happened, it's complicated to have more gas, and it's expensive too and not good for the environment. While us, it's our own gas that we produce.
Okay, so in a minute we're going to talk about how this works. But first of all, if you're watching the recording, then do ask questions in the comments box, either on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, and I can pass them on to Julian and Sophie afterwards, and we can supply answers to the questions. And if you're live watching, I can see there's a few people live watching, then just stick your comments in, and we can come to questions near the end if there are any. So the big question then, I know, for instance, wet slurry waste from animals is often transported and trucked to different places because there's no way of dealing with it, which seemed like I really didn't know that was going on. So how does your system work?
Then what we choose to do is to intake our machine in a container. Like that, the machine can move where we need to move it. It means you can go, for example, put few machines in Gozo, and you don't have to use trucks to go around the island, for example.
Okay.
And that's something important, because as you say, it's kind of not smart to use trucks to move the sludge of the waste to one place to another place to treat it, because you use again gas to make the waste go to the pond.
Yeah, there must be lots of CO2 emissions just in transporting the waste. So this is something that you can put in a location at a farm or a production unit or anything like that?
Anywhere it's needed, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
And And the machine is, so we patent everything, we made everything from the beginning to now. And so the machine has a closed room. And so by our technology, it goes in the closed room, and there it's up to 1,000 degrees, which totally destroy the animal waste, the sludge, or the plastics, which means there is no microparticle of plastic or no nanoparticles of plastic at the end. There is nothing, there is no smoke, there is no emission. So it's a zero impact for the planet. It means it's totally green.
So when you're destroying the waste, and I'm using the word, I'm not very scientific, so I know from what I've read, and there's a little bit, and so to make it clear for everyone who may be watching the recording, you're not burning it, essentially.
No, it's
Or not like if it's on a bonfire. It's not that kind of
the
burning.
reaction when you go to really high temperature. I won't tell exactly.
Yes.
When you inject the waste inside, it kind of disappear, and because it's in the closed room, you have it produces gas. When it destroys this, it produces gas, and this gas goes in kind of filter, and after it go outside of the filter, you can use this gas, and it's a green gas because you produce this gas from sludge or waste, and then it's totally green and no impact on the environment.
So what you're talking about then, for me as just a normal consumer, is waste in, gas out.
Exactly.
And you can use the gas, what do you use the gas for?
We can use the gas or just as gas, normal gas, or we can transform this gas in electricity, and then it will be also a green electricity because it's gas from the waste.
Wow, okay. And so this is a green gas producing thing, as well as, I assume you're using the power that you create in order to run it.
Exactly, that's another point.
So it's a completely closed loop.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, brilliant. And the unit that you put in wherever so the waste it can be treated right where it's produced, as it were. How much waste do you need to be producing to make it worthwhile putting one unit in a place?
What is important to understand is that the machine is not big. That's something that is really important. Because we have a small machine, we can treat like, for example, a small a sewage treatment plant, the one of Melia is not a big one, but we can treat it and it works. We don't need a big quantity of waste. Because how we develop this is that you destroy 1 ton of waste and you keep kind of 1 ton of gas.
Wow.
And then you
okay.
turn alone, I mean itself, and you keep a part of this gas.
So is there anything left at all, or does it just completely all... Is there anything at all that comes out?
Anything at all.
Anything.
Okay, so is there anything left afterwards?
No.
Apart from the gas?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because that's pretty incredible, isn't it? It's almost like a miracle solution, isn't it? Because you can get all this waste and then it produces an energy, but without destroying, without creating lots of gases at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not like an incineration.
No.
Totally the opposite. Incineration, first you need gas to incinerate, and you burn it. Even if imagine it's closed room, but you use gas. And you don't produce anything, or maybe 5–10% of what you burn, destroy. Then it means you use more gas than what you produce. What the balance is not good for environment and for the money, because it costs a lot.
Right.
And also, I don't know if people know, but lots of the sludge is they put it on the land to dry, or in the sea, depends. And then on the land it goes in the soils, and you have to know that we have found on the sludge medicines, we have found metals, we have found lots of things that are polluting again the soils. And then we eat the vegetable from the same soils. So it's like an endless cycle. I think you have the picture of the endless cycle.
Yeah, would you like me to show that?
Yes.
So, good question. I had the mouse in the wrong place. Sorry
And
about
so,
that. So here's your endless cycle then. Do you want to talk me through that or talk us through that?
yes, you can. So it's from human waste to waste, then it goes to the water treatment plant. Then can you maybe explain better than me?
For the treatment. Then when they, at the sewage treatment plant, they treat the water, they make the water clean, and they have a ultimate waste that is we call sludge, but it's shit, to be honest, with not good things inside. And in general, this, you have to treat it. And what happens now is that they have to dry it. To dry it, they use gas or machine to dry it. And after, or they put it in a machine, as you say, in an incinerator, or they put it in land or some solution or in the sea that are not solution. And with our solution, then we take this sludge, we destroy it, and we produce some gas from this. And then we stop everything. There is no more nanoparticle or anything that goes in the nature.
So it means you can treat, like, destroy the sludge, the plastics, the domestic waste, the hospital waste, the amianta, and so then you totally stop the endless cycle.
I think that's what I found interesting when I saw this slide was I didn't quite know where you fitted in the whole system. So you're not replacing a sewage plant, for instance, that may already be in place, but you're taking a byproduct of treating the sewage normally, either human or animal, and once the water is removed, then you're dealing with the dry product and stopping repollution from microparticles, plastics, pharmaceuticals, antibacterials, nitrates, chemicals, and all that, forever chemicals, for instance. And all of that's going through your system. So the bit that you're doing is the bit right at the end.
Exactly.
Yes.
Which I found quite interesting because I didn't realize that when I was learning more about what you're doing.
For example, when there is the COVID pandemic, they found some COVID inside the sludge. So it means even this, you stop, it's finished.
And what was interesting was also hearing about the medical waste that you're dealing with as well, and maybe some of those plastics that don't get recycled.
Yes, even for example in Malta, they have some plastic in the sea, and so people take it out of the sea. With our solution, we can put this in the machine and destroy it. Then you sure it won't go back in the sea, and fish won't eat this plastic, and you won't eat the fish, and then eat the plastic.
For example, the ONG Zibel, they are collecting microplastic in the sea all around Malta, I think. So, for example, you put the machine, you put everything inside, and then it's finished. Because microplastic is really difficult to recycle. It's so small. So with the machine, it's finished.
Because sometimes the cost of trying to recycle things and sort them out when they're so small is not going to be productive. You may as well do something else.
It's because first you have to separate which is recycled or not. So it's time, it's people who have to work. Then you have to transport it and then to treat it. While there, you just have the machine, you put everything, and then it's finished.
So I think what's interesting is this is a positive story both for Malta, but also obviously your technology, your machine, and your patents have significance globally as well, don't they? There must be other countries that are looking. So what kind of support have you found in Malta for your patented technology so far?
For now,
nothing.
Okay. We ourselves from 5 years.
Yeah.
And now we want to start the production. But we hope that the Minister of Environment will help us in this step, because if we want to start the production, it will take more time and we need support for a country to make it happen. As we already have clients around the world, then we have to start the production as soon as possible.
So it is a call for Miriam Dali.
So maybe she'll be watching the video and get inspired to do something. You never know. Well, the one thing about doing live shows is that although we may not have so many people who join live, you never know who sees the recording afterwards.
Yeah.
And so if you are watching and you think you can help Julian and Sophie bring this machine to realization both here and abroad, or if you're watching from abroad, then just put a comment in the box or contact us and we'll be able to pass on the details. Or in fact, you can go straight to the website, which is newtechnologydevelopment.com, and you'll be able to contact them directly there. So if you are interested or want to know more about the technology, or you think you can do something to help, then it's all there. So let's come to...
Sorry, excuse me. We are based in Nasha, so if someone really wants to come and see by his own eyes, it's possible.
So do you do open days then in Nasha where people can actually come and see the machine?
Sorry, what you...
Do you do like presentations at the actual machine, so demos?
We have the machine in Nasha now, yes. And we do some demonstration for some clients or for some people that come in Malta just for this. Then yes, it's possible to show the machine and how it works.
We did one in France. Just
a demonstration, yes. I think we send you the video.
Yes. Do you want to see that? Shall I run that?
Yes.
Yeah, should we run that? So it's let's just run that. If you want to talk through it, I'll turn the sound off on the video. If you want to talk us through what we're seeing, it's only about a minute long. It might be quite interesting. Also to see the scale of the machine, I think, because it sounds as though it's got to be a monstrous type machine.
Yes.
Okay, so let's run that and turn the sound off, and you can talk us through it if you want. That's interesting. Okay. Don't know why that's not working. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to actually add the video file back in again and just run it live again. And let me add it to the stream. And I'm going to scroll it forward to the last 2:35 and turn the sound off. Do you want to talk us through what we're seeing?
Then the machine is in the container. As you see, it's not big machine, but we can treat a lot of waste. And that's the machine we developed during 5 years in order to have this result to be available to treat all the waste.
So this is a 40-foot container, but the machine's actually only at the end of it.
It's in 20-feet container. In this one is in 40 because we move it with our things inside, but it fits in 20-feet container.
Right,
and
so it's a half container size then.
Exact, the half.
Which sounds really easy to put in like a farm situation or something like that.
Yes, it's easy. You bring the container to the place you have to treat, and you just have to connect it, and you can start make the machine work.
When the container arrives, it's ready to work.
And you'd be able to do presentations in Nasha on this system anytime?
Yes.
We'll do in October for some clients that come from abroad, some politicians, some companies, and yes.
Okay, great. So people can just contact you to arrange that,
Sure.
and then
and
then you'll show it. That's really interesting that it fits in such a small thing. So how many kilos could you get rid of a day if you measure it in kilos or liters? I don't know. It's wet, so.
But I can tell exactly because we have two different sides of the machine. One is 20% bigger and we treat much more waste. And that depends on which type of waste. For example, we can treat the liquid waste, like the liquid sludge of oil sludge, for example, because they have problem in country where they produce.
Oil sludge?
Yes, and then we can treat it. But the quantity to treat this one will be different than the quantity of regular sludge. And if we treat the kind of solid sludge is 20% of dryness, we call. It means 80% of water and the rest of sludge. Will be different than if it's 96% of water and the rest of. And for the plastic, it's different. And then I can't really give amount, but it's a good quantity. And what you have to understand is that, for example, we have some country that want us to treat all the sludge. Then for them, we will maybe depend if there are few places to treat. If there are few places, we can bring few containers. But if they have 2, 3, 4 places, maybe we can do the biggest one in order to answer to really what they need.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, a question for...
Work on it.
Say again?
It depends on the demand. So on the app, what they need. They explain the problem and we manage to find the best solution for them.
Yeah, so what's interesting is its scalability as well. So the fact that it can start with a small unit, but also it's scalable, isn't it? So that's interesting. So one last big question then. Here you are in Malta and you have this machine, and I've seen you on television, you've been on TVM, and seen a few things like that, and saw quite a lot of social media interest. And that's how I got interested in it, because this does seem something that could be really helpful. What's the future, do you think, for new technology development here in Malta?
Then now, as I say, we want to start the production in order to deliver our clients. And we hope to get some support from Malta, as we are in touch with other countries that are really interesting. And as I tell you, will come beginning of October. And we hope we can stay in Malta to continue this project, because we live here for 5 years and we want to stay. But we really hope we get some support, because we need this now. We're carrying this for 5 years, financing this project, and now to start the production, it's a step higher, I mean.
It's the next step, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. So hopefully somebody will be seeing this at some point, either on a recording. And if you're watching live, and I can see there's a few people online, if you do have any questions, just pop them in the comments box and we'll come to those. So you can get in contact with Julian and Sophie at newtechnologydevelopment.com, as on that website there. Or you can also get in contact with them through us if you want to. That's great. Thank you very much, Sophie and Julian. Thanks for joining, and good luck with the project. And hopefully we'll be telling some different stories for European Sustainable Development Week next year, and we can see people have taken it on board, and you're actually producing or getting rid of the waste in Malta, which would be wonderful. So thank you for joining us today. We'll just play you out with a bit of music, and I'll hope to speak to you again.
Thank
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.